Welcome everybody to the San Diego Referral Club. Thank you for being patient for 2 minutes. Excuse me. San Diego Referral Club is a place to receive genuine quality referrals. San Diego Referral Club is a professional business association that meets weekly to provide a forum for small business owners and entrepreneurs to help each other grow their business through the exchange of business referrals, continuing education, and outside networking opportunities. And to begin the meeting, we will have our networking education moment with Mike Fan. Every week, we have a brief 4-minute networking education moment in order to help our members network better and get the most out of their membership. With that said, we toss it over to Mike.
All right, guys, good morning. So I'm going to be looking down, so sorry if I don't give you eye contact. I'm going to talk about the butterfly effect of networking. And I'm sure you guys have heard about the butterfly effect overall, but I'm just going to do a little bit of recap on that. It's a theory that a small action in one place may cause a ripple effect that creates a dramatic action in another place. So it's like throwing a pebble into the pond and watching the ripples hit the surface. Like even though that small pebble that you threw creates all these enormous ripples that like just keeps cascading out. And the theory of that is that you don't know who someone knows who knows someone else. So like when you're networking, even though it might not give you a benefit just talking to this one person, it might benefit you down the line. And the creator of this theory, he tells a story about how, and I'm gonna go back to forward because then I don't want to spoil it. Basically, he gets a phone call from a woman to create a online network and social capital platform, and through that he gets speaking engagements. And through these speaking engagements, he meets a person named Jack Canfield, which is the co-author of Chicken Soup for the Soul. And that gives him an invitation to the Transformational Leaders Council, which gives him a invitation to Necker Island through a woman named Nancy. And on Necker Island, he meets Richard Branson. You know, like, I know that this story is very extreme, but we all have like little actions that we do that lead up to a bigger action, right? So that's kind of what I got away from it. And I'm going to use an example that is very relevant to our group, right? So, and you guys could do this too. It's like, how did you become a part of SDRC? Like, I became a part of SDRC because Michael invited me. And I got an invite through Michael by talking to another advisor called Jake Sutton, which was actually Michael's financial advisor before. And I met Jake Sutton through a conference at Edward Jones. I started working at Edward Jones because my brother told me about the opportunity. And the opportunity only came up because I wanted to move from Northern California to Southern California. And I only wanted to do that because, you know, I got into a relationship with my wife. So really, if you like want to create this weird funnel of, weird ripple effect, is I met Michael and started at going to SDRC meetings because of my wife. You know, it's really interesting. And I know that we could all trace back certain actions to certain moments in our life. And so it's kind of to be thankful for those little moments because you never know when they will come up. So you just have to keep doing a lot of actions that you think will benefit you, but sometimes do actions that will not benefit you too. So that's the butterfly effect of networking.
Awesome. Great information. It kind of reminded me too of when everybody here works obviously with people, and sometimes you'll work with somebody who you know is very limited in resources, you know, and maybe like, I don't know, like for Mike or maybe for me, like there's an application that it's a paper app and I have to write it with a fucking pen. and it's about 30 minutes invested, and the commission is like 20 cents, right? So every time we get those, it's like, fuck. But you treat that person good, and they could know a big fish, right? Never know. So thank you. Thank you very much, Mike. And now we're going to move over to our 60-second presentations. We're going to give our members and guests the opportunity to give their 60-second elevator pitch. Please keep your share no longer than 60 seconds. We don't have a visitor today. Eminem. Yes, we do. Martin. All right. So once our visitors are, our members are done with their 60-second presentation, we'd love for you to talk about, your business as well. The question for today is from page 45 and 46. What was one of the money, well, one of your thoughts about money that you have either changed already or that you just discovered and want to change and work on those. With that said, we're going to start with Michael Brandt.
Morning, Michael Brandt, MRB Media. I do web development, branding, and marketing. Right now, I'm working on some video stuff for clients for different marketing campaigns, like infographics. So one such company is called Touchwork, and they do different apps for like enterprise apps for big businesses. And one they're trying to sell right now to universities, helps all the different departments keep in touch with students that might be sick or exposed to COVID-19. So it's been interesting to make videos with words flying over the screen to kind of break down a PowerPoint presentation to make it more interesting. So I help clients with visual communications too. So a great introduction for me this week would be someone that has something COVID related, which is really broad, but I can help them get the word out, especially now that we're starting to reopen. And in terms of money, I'd say just the idea that like rich people are inherently evil, which I don't, I'm trying to change that view. So thank you, Michael, MRB Media.
Thank you very much, Michael. And we go down below with Mike Fan.
Morning, guys. My name is Mike Fan. I'm the financial advisor of the group. So last week, and actually recently, a lot of people have been asking for very safe investments, and I've been telling them about CDs, and also this fund that I think's a little bit of an upgrade. It does cost you about 1% to get in, but it's been paying about 5% overall, and it's backed by about 50% of national securities by the Fed. So it's relatively safe, has a little bit more upside. So if you know anyone who wants a better return than the bank is paying them, this is something I've been telling my clients about. One of the things that I want to kind of change my mindset on is like when I say like I can't afford that, because I know I could work harder to make more money to afford it. So that's something that I'm trying to change my my mindset about. Thanks. This is Mike Fan from Edward Jones.
Awesome. Thank you very much for that, Mike. And let's go down to Johnny Surf Pro.
Good morning, guys. Johnny with Surf Pro. I just sent a text out from a job last night. This home in Poway started a reconstruction project. So they left town, and last night they had their neighbor go over and check to see how everything was going, and you'll see in the video how everything was going. So they had water coming down from their vanity upstairs. So we got the call last night at about 8:30, and we were there by like 9:15 in Poway. So the question about the money is just paying more attention to the words that I use, and also my thought process when it comes to money. Again, Johnny with Surf Pro.
Thank you very much, Johnny. I don't know if you guys saw the video, but Doesn't look pretty. And then we go to the right with Missy Babineau.
Good morning, everybody. Missy Babineau, the owner of Capture All Imagery. I am currently booking pre-purchase content, lots of graduations. I'm kind of groggy today because I've been working a lot lately, which is super awesome. But having to take the necessary precautions makes it a little more overwhelming, I guess, since I have to make sure that I'm providing masks, gloves, and hand sanitizer for all of my clients. Even if they don't use it, I have to make sure I bring it. But I'm very, very thankful to be able to work again. My ask this week is anyone that needs content or graduation photos. Content is super fun for me and it's really easy, and my turnaround's a lot faster than portraits. But I still really am excited about the graduation photos this year, because while the graduates are missing out on so much, they deserve at least that. So I'm trying my best to make those really special. In terms of money, this was a huge one for me. This book like changed my life. I grew up with like parents that had the mindset of when I was going through my first divorce, if you get into debt and the creditors are calling you, just don't answer the phone. Just don't answer. Just block their numbers. Just keep blocking them. And I was young, and just look at Michael's laughing because he knows exactly who my parents are. And so that's how I grew up. It's just a very scarcity mindset type of thing. And so learning and retraining my thought process on it is huge. There were so many things in that list that I was like, oh, that's it. So getting out of that scarcity mindset and learning that money is a good thing. It helps me to do the things that I want to do with my life to help other people. That's huge. Missy Babineau, Capture All Imagery.
Thank you for that, Missy. And then we'll move down with Tyler Christie.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Tyler Christie with Movement Mortgage. Sorry I was a little late today. I had a little trouble getting on my computer, but we have a really interesting program right now called Love Thy Neighbor. And so basically what our company is trying to do is we all get $250 for the month, and we take a realtor as a family, just for COVID. We don't have to talk business with any of them. So we're the company is really about giving back, and so it's nice to be backed by such a good support system. That's something that is really good for the community and just all business stuff. I've got a ton of VA clients in the last 2 weeks. We're running a special right now where they get a $2,500 credit towards closing. But more importantly, the rates are just phenomenal right now. I mean, we locked someone in on a VA loan at 2.5, so it's just getting kind of crazy. Anyway, if about money, I think that one of the things that I would like to change about money with myself is a lot of people, because I deal with it all the time in numbers, I always assume it's not like, for example, we were at the river this last weekend and someone said that their boat cost $150,000 over 15 years. And immediately my brain went to thinking that was 3 rental properties in Alabama. So it's like kind of changing my mindset from that. But yeah, I think that's kind of it is I always bring it back to mortgages. So maybe not shouting that out in front of people, but.
Awesome. Thank you, Tyler. And we will move down with Elena.
Hi, you guys. I'm Helena, hairstylist and makeup artist in Old Town. And as most of you have probably heard, we can open now. I get to go back to work. I'm so excited. Yay. You have no idea. I feel like my mood shifted yesterday afternoon. I was like, whoo. Then I realized oh my God, I'm doing what I love. Especially I've been, that's been backed up by this book as well. Make sure you're doing what you love as you're making money. So excited to get back. You have no idea. And my thought process around the book and wait, what was the question? What's our thought process around
from page 45 and 46? What's one of that money thoughts that you had?
Oh, okay, yeah,
or that you're working on?
Mine was like knowing, like, in my field, it's like, oh, you're a hairstylist. Like, I feel like I make pretty decent money for a hairstylist, but being like cruising there, not taking it to that next level of like, hey, you know what? I probably can make more. Like realizing that from the book of like changing my mindset around that thought process where it's like, hey, be grateful that you're doing as well as you are, and stopping and staying there. So I am changing that mindset around that, being like, no, why does it have to be just right there? I'm a badass at making money.
Oh yeah.
I like the book.
All right. Thank you very much, Elena. My name is Sal Cerda, State Farm Insurance, and today I'm asking for anybody that you know that just got engaged, or I mean, if the guy or the girl hasn't kind of pushed the buttons and they're just moving in together, right? It doesn't have to be engagement, because you never know. It takes years sometimes to get ready. But as long as you're living together, the merging of households is kind of what I'm getting at. It doesn't matter the age. Usually when that happens, well, one of the person, I mean, guy or girl, has, you know, different insurance. The other guy and girl has a different insurance. And little do they know that if they actually merge them, they will get beneficial discounts on both parties. And at the same time, it's just a show of commitment that you are willing to kind of share your insurance and make maybe one payment. But if you don't like to make one payment for both, you can always have two separate payments. So those are really good prices that we have for, you know, multi-car discounts. Anybody you know that's recently joined their lives together would be awesome. As far as the money, I had three kind of stood out. Never go into debt. That was the first one. I took care of that one a while back, but I got out of debt, so that's good. But I'm not afraid of it anymore. You have to work hard to make money. That's probably one of the ones that still sticks around. I've been changing that to work smart, not hard, because, you know, working hard gets tiring. And the last one I highlighted was money doesn't grow on trees. And COVID made me realize that it does grow on trees. You know, when things slowed down, money was still flowing in, and, you know, I wasn't even really working too much for like a week, but money kept coming in, so that's good. With that
Go
said,
pick Sal's money tree.
yeah, it's over there. Sal Cerda, State Farm, and then we'll go over to our visitor, Martin Martinez. If you can unmute yourself, Martin. There you go.
Hi. Morning.
Morning.
Martin Martinez. I'm with M&M Plumbing. First off, I want to thank Johnny for sending me a referral. Okay, really do appreciate that. And basically what I do is service and repair plumbing. You have a leaky water heater, garbage disposal doesn't work. You got a mystery gas leak or water leak, anything of that nature. I just go out, you know, tell you I could either fix it, repair it, or replace it. It's your choice. I give you the options. As far as the money thing, I really never given it that much thought, but I do know that my dad always taught me to just work hard. And then I just come from Sal right now, work smart, not hard. And that's something that you have to do. Also, this book that you guys keep referring to, I'm not familiar with it, or I think you guys gave me the title last. We picked that up at Walmart, or do you pick it up like at Walmart?
Amazon.
Yeah, any like bookstore, Amazon, anywhere that sells books.
Yeah, so once you become a member, like, we'll usually get a copy for you.
Oh, okay. All right. But that's all I have.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Martin. And thank you, everybody, for your 60-second presentation. So now we're going to move over to our book. We are discussing Chapter 2, Why You Ain't Rolling in the Cheddar Yet. So let's kick it off with Mike Fan. What's your favorite parts of this chapter?
Yeah, so mine was, you know, becoming page 44, and Sal just kind of talked about it. It's where you become aware of limiting thoughts and beliefs. You question and investigate them, rewrite them, and say it loud and proud. So, you know, it's really easy to say like, oh, I can't do this and I can't do that, or I can't afford this, or that costs too much. But, you know, when you kind of really think about it, it's like very limiting language. So to rephrase in a way that's positive is way better for your mentality. And I really like that in the book. So at first, when I was reading the chapter, I thought it was kind of dumb, to be honest. But when I got more into the chapter, it was something that I could connect more and understand more with.
Awesome. Thank you for that, Mike. How about you, Johnny?
I think just being aware of my thought process. To be honest, I haven't really paid attention to if I'm positive or negative when it comes to money. But I think just making myself aware and moving forward really put together to see what I am doing, what I need to change. And so just making myself aware to really see how I go about the money process, because I'm really not sure, to be honest.
Very cool. One of the things that kind of stuck for me was the words and what's the power that they have. Because obviously we all talk to ourselves, not like, hey, how you doing, Sal, kind of thing. But you're always thinking things, right? And I'm still working on it. Like I used to say, like, I lose everything. I lose everything. And then maybe, I don't know, a couple of months ago, because my wife always tells me, like, why do you always lose keys and stuff? I changed it to, I misplaced everything. Right, so it's a work in progress. Obviously, I don't want to lose stuff, so I misplace it all the time. But just the power of the words and how it actually affects your lifestyle. That kind of, you know, obviously we've all heard about it, but just reading it and seeing her interpretation and an example that she gave in the book, like kind of like I need to change from misplacing to I never lose. You know, I always, I don't know, find what I'm looking for.
I easily find what I'm looking for. I usually find what I'm looking for. Okay, there you go. Or easily find. I easily find.
Easily. Okay. All right, and then with that, let's go to Elena.
Hi guys, again. Yeah, I like the book. I think like the mentality mindset, like waking up and thinking like, yeah, I'm gonna be making a lot of money. I'm gonna be, you know, I'm gonna be able to work not necessarily harder per se, but have like that money flow coming in. And for me, it gave me like a good validation around like kind of like price increase, because in my business it's like you're always like, ooh, you don't want to increase your prices because of losing clients. But I'm like, you know what, like I have the experience, I'm worth it, and just like putting that out there and saying it, not feeling bad about it. So yeah, I think mindset was a big deal, like realizing your thoughts around money for sure.
Wow, let's go to Missy Babineau.
I highlighted two little parts. One is the walls of your comfort zone are lovingly decorated with your lifelong collection of favorite excuses. The thing that I absolutely love and why I think a lot of people connect with this is she has a way of like sugarcoating, like shit talking about your thoughts about money. And it's kind of funny because it like hits you in a way that you wouldn't expect.
Mm-hmm.
Like the last book was kind of really in your face. And so it kind of was like a little uncomfortable. But this one is like, come on, laugh with me. You have been thinking about this wrong your whole life. We're going to shift it and we're going to fix it while we're having fun. And then the other one that I highlighted was your thoughts inspire emotions that inspire action that forms your reality. So that the way of thinking, especially with pricing and things like that, I've been reworking my wedding pricing because I work way too hard for what I charge. One of them is a start to finish wedding for I think it's $2,100, which means I could get there as early as 6 a.m. and be there until midnight. And so that is taking on average 40 pictures an hour. That's a lot of work for me. And I'm like, I could easily be charging double that. But anyway, think my thoughts about money is something that I have had issues with for so long. A light would pop on my dashboard of my car and I'd be like, great, how am I going to afford this? Which is silly now in the position that I'm in right now. But maybe 2 years ago, even a year ago, before I joined SDRC and tripled my income, I was like, I don't have savings at all. I would be lucky if I had $5 in my account. I was worried about paying my dues for the group. And I told Michael, I can't do this. I can't do it. It's too much. And he's like, Missy, it's $30. And I'm like, you don't understand, okay? I was constantly the victim in my own head when it came to my financial situation, which is kind of funny. But yeah, life-changing.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Let's go to Tyler.
Yeah, I didn't get to really digest the whole chapter. I kind of skimmed through it this morning. Sorry, guys. But yeah, the mindset part of money, I think, is very important. And I think that comes back to kind of sales too. We all are in the business of, getting money from other people. To me, it's the way I looked at it was more so the mindset of a customer too, and how I could implement that into my business. I get a lot of people who walk through my doors who, you are paying, let's say, $2,100 a month in rent, and you're telling them that their mortgage is going to be $3,000. So that's a big step for someone to take. And, instead of coming from the mindset of, hey, like you're going to be paying more, it's more of the mindset of like, look at what money can do for you. Look at what your payment can do for you. And I think that's also kind of ties into what they're saying. It's like a lot of people think this thing of like, a penny saved is a penny earned. Well, that's not always true, because you can invest that penny and make 2 pennies. So it's just, I think that is a lot has to do with the mindset of, growing up and understanding money, and also losing a lot of money too. So you learn a lot of that through loss. But anyway, yeah, that's my 2 cents on that.
Awesome. Thank you. How about you, Michael?
I like the stuff surrounding fear. Trying to protect yourself from your fears protects you from experiencing a fully evolved and juicy life. And talking about how the pointless, oftentimes life-sucking trap of sacrificing living your dreams for false security. And that makes me think of, like, let me back up a little bit. Travel is a huge priority of mine, and I spent a lot of money doing it. And a lot of my friends, or well, not a lot, but a couple of my friends were like, dude, like, you're trying to escape your life. You should be working really hard and saving money and travel when you retire. And I'm just kind of like, I could get hit by a bus tomorrow. Like, I don't know that I'll, like, where I'll be when I retire, if the world will even be safe and livable at that point. Like, why not do it now? So I think it's interesting to do the balancing act of like saving money and also spending money. And I think I've been set up for success by my family in that regard. Like, growing up, we had a very scarcity mindset, but as an adult, I don't really have that mindset, but I also save. So it's like an interesting mix of things. Let me see what else. Oh, also, like, the I guess this kind of goes along with a little bit of what Mike was talking about at the butterfly effect, but what comes out of your mouth comes into your life. So it's kind of like you create your own reality. And I thought it was interesting too about like being in the present moment, how she's talking about the Hopi people don't even have words for like past, present, future, because they're in the present. And I think a lot of, like, especially I'm interested in like Eastern philosophy and like Buddhist spirituality, and all of that stuff is about being in the present moment. So I think like having our mindset in the present moment, not regretting the past or worrying about the future, is a really good place to be too. And with that, I'm going to pass it back to Sal.
Thank you. Thank you. Great info there. Just one last thing I highlighted was, when you change who you are being, you're basically killing off your old identity, which completely freaks your subconscious self out. So I kind of like the little fact that she was talking about the little prints. We've obviously, I mean, I'm a huge believer of evolving or evolution. Not that we come for the monkey, even though some people look like monkeys, talking about, evolving, self-evolving kind of thing. And it's true, you can't be two people at the same time. So as soon as you decide to make a change, the other is like coming off of your skin like a snake. You become this completely new person, better, hopefully, than the other person. But once you make and decide to do that jump, there's no going back, right? So this kind of stood out as well. And it said that your little prince doesn't want to be dethroned. So obviously it's not going to be easy to do, but you can do it as long as you stick to it. And next week, we're going to talk about chapter 2A, a tiny but mighty chapter about universal intelligence. All right. I thought it was going to be like 2 pages. Yeah,
I was just going to ask because I wasn't sure if people read 2 and 2A, but actually, let's just do it.
As well.
Let's just do a razor. But we didn't talk about it, so I guess we're just ahead for next week, Elena.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry about that. I didn't. Yeah, because it's 10 pages only. All right. Well, thank you very much, everybody, for your input on the book. Now we're going to go into our spotlight speaker, Michael Brand. So every week we have the opportunity to hear from one of our members for 10 minutes. Usually this longest presentation is so we can better understand who they are and what their business is. But today, Michael's going to be talking about how to make the most out of your membership with SDRC. Michael.
Hi, actually, no, I'm talking about blogging. Can you guys all see my screen? Yes, okay.
Yeah.
So originally we had a different speaker today, but he not only isn't speaking, but couldn't make it apparently. So I put this together last night. And this is talking about blogging for business. So one of the most valuable things we can do for our business is to constantly generate new content on our websites. I think everyone here, with the exception, actually maybe not Mike, Sal, and Johnny, because you guys are all with bigger companies that might provide websites, but I think the rest of us all have business websites with blogs. So why blog? Blogging is a marketing tactic that uses, business blogging is a marketing tactic that uses blogging to get your business more online visibility. A business blog is a marketing channel, just like social media, direct mail, email marketing, etc., that helps support business growth. So think of blogging along with like advertisements, social media, cold calling, networking as like a separate marketing channel. And the best thing to do, in my opinion, with blogging is to do some keyword research, which I can help you with, or you can also do with the Google Keyword Planner, which is a free tool if you have a Google ad account, is to find topics that your customers are searching for. Maybe topics that don't have a lot of competition, because then if you write a blog on them, you can be one of the top hits pretty easily. An example is I'm working with a business lawyer and we were looking up keywords, and a lot of people are looking for like, what's the difference between an LLC and an S Corp? And I know there's like big companies like LegalZoom and Nolo that already have written these topics, but you can finagle the keywords in a certain way that like you can write a version that maybe isn't represented. So anyway, the benefits of blogging. The first benefit is that it helps drive traffic. So one of the best things to do is to publish a new blog or publish a new video on your website and then share that to social media. So whenever someone is going to this link, it's on your website versus like somewhere else. It also is constantly helping generate new content for your website. So the average person isn't making a lot of content changes to their website, especially their about page. Like how often does your bio change? Unless you get a new certification or something. And search engines are looking at your website to see, like, is this fresh? Is this new? Is this relevant? So the more often that you're changing things and putting new content, the more likely you are to be crawled by the search engines like Google and Bing. Every time you write a blog, it's one more index page on your website. It also helps drive traffic to your website using search engines and social media. So I have the inbound marketing lifecycle, and this was a cool graphic I stole from HubSpot. And so there's 4 different things in the inbound sales process, and blogging helps with 2 of them, attraction and conversion. So that is turning strangers into visitors, is what we do by driving traffic. Next, it helps to convert traffic. So one of the easiest things you can do to get sales and leads out of your website is to write a blog and to put some kind of call to action on it. So schedule a free consultation, download my free ebook, join my email newsletter, although generally people won't do that without some incentive, but you should put some call to action in every blog and every page of your website. Like I'm trying to think, in Tyler's case, it could be like, see what your home's worth. In my case, it could be like free website evaluation or free marketing, 15-minute marketing call or something. Just some way to try to capture their information, not just have a passive reader. Let's see. So here's how that process would work. Visitor comes to the website. Visitor's reading the blog about some question they have that you're answering. Visitor sees call to action for free offer. They enter their information and you just captured their email. And then now they can go into remarketing for future stuff or newsletter. And for the average sale, it takes like between 4 and 10 touch points. So someone isn't gonna just necessarily come to your website and become your customer, but they might a couple emails down the road or a couple touch points down the road. So this again takes us to the second part of the inbound marketing lifecycle, which is conversion, and that's turning visitors into leads. And we do that with forms, calls to action, and landing pages, which work in conjunction with blogs. The third benefit of blogging is it helps establish authority. And again, this is what I was talking about answering questions that your customers are already searching for. If they have a question and they find it on your website, they're more likely to hire you. And if you're consistently creating content that's helpful to your target customer, it'll help establish you as an authority in their eyes. And so I won't read the rest to you guys because I already talked about it, but I'll make this available at the end of the meeting. And finally, it drives long-term results. So when you write a blog and you publish it on your social media, you're getting a small percentage of people that are clicking on it and reading it. And then that usually blows over in a couple of days. And then what? HubSpot did a study and they found that the majority of their blog readers actually came after the fact. They were residual. So here's a chart. It's a little blurry, but you'll see at the top of each bar graph, there's a little like dark gray area, and that is context generated from this month's post. The orange area is context generated from previous month's posts. So you'll see, especially a year out, the majority of their contacts were from past blog posts. So once that stuff is out there, it's there forever on the internet and people will keep finding it. So you're doing the work once and it has results hopefully for a long time, as long as it's relevant. I was reading something on Authority Hacker, which is a website that deals with search engine optimization. And it talked about going back and updating your blog post each year. Like, for example, I'll talk on the next page about some of the templates that work well. But like the top, for example, in my business, I do websites with WordPress, and WordPress has plugins. So there might be like the top 10 calendar plugins for WordPress of 2020. So just if you write that article in 2019, you could just go update it each year and it bumps it to the top again as relevant. And like, so in Tyler's case, talking about marketing stuff or programs, he could write like the top 3 reasons to get an FHA loan, and or the, I don't know, like some way to make it relevant to a year, and then just update that each year and maybe make a couple tweaks to the information if it changes. But so everyone's homework from this is to write a blog post, ideally on your website. If you don't have a website, you can write it on your Facebook page or LinkedIn. LinkedIn has like a native blogging feature now. where you see people like Richard Branson and Jen Sincero that are like business leaders. A lot of times they'll write articles just on LinkedIn, and you can too. Or you can start a free blog at wordpress.com. But again, the best practice is to put it on your own website. And I'm going to provide a link in the chat to a folder of blog templates, which I got from HubSpot. And there's 6 different templates, but I think the strongest and the easiest to do are how-to blog posts. So like, in my case, how to optimize your images for page load time. What is blog post? So in Sal's case, that could be like, what is renter's insurance and why do you need it? And then a list blog post. That could be the top 8 best of whatever, or the, I don't know, the real estate programs to look at in 2020. So that, I think that's probably enough to digest for now, but so I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing and open it to any questions, and then also put that link in the chat.
Great presentation. Just about the call to action.
Mm-hmm.
I watched the video too, where it says sometimes like if the simpler you make it, instead of putting like give me a call for more information, because sometimes people are, you know, they don't know about what, you know, whatever it is that you do, and they might feel a little hesitant to give you a call, because then what are they gonna say? You know, like, hi, I saw your video, kind of thing. But in the video that I was looking at, it said when you do a call to action, to be specific, like, I don't know, send me a text or text me the word wedding, like for Missy, you know, text me the word wedding and I'll send you over, you know, wedding information. So at least the person who's gonna do the reaching out to you, A, already knows what you want them to do. B, you told them what to do. So C, it should be a lot easier for them to actually do it, because they're not going to be concerned as to, you know, calling you and figure out what to tell you or what to ask, right? So that's just something I wanted to add, like in the call to action, if you can make it as specific, you
I'd say
will
that
get
too,
more.
calling isn't a great call to action. A better call to action would be some way to capture their information on your website and remarket to them. So especially millennials, like they're not going to pick up the phone and call you. So
Exactly.
I'd say like text, or like text work well. But again, you don't want to leave it on them to text you. You want to get their information so you can text them. Because in a lot of cases they won't, or it's after hours, or they like, oh, I'll do that tomorrow morning, and with the best intentions, then they forget. And I'm definitely guilty of that.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Michael, for the great presentation. Hopefully we can all start blogging on our websites, or we can actually also blog in SDRC websites. So now we're going to move over to group business. So if you can review last week's stats with Mike Fan.
So last week we had 7 referrals, 7 one-to-ones, and $3,300 worth of close of business.
Whoa. Very good, very good. And then, now is the best part of our meeting. The referrals, testimonials, one-on-ones, visitors. Martin, once our members have passed the referrals and testimonials, we're going to ask you what you like most about the meeting. Well, I guess I'll start. I had a referral for Nick Cranmer. Also letting you guys know, Nick needs to take some personal time, so he'll be out for a few weeks, a couple of months, but he'll be back. So yeah, I had a referral for Nick, and I had a very fun referral for Johnny. One of my favorite clients. She's like 80 years old, 70 something years old, almost 80. And she has her happy days and she has her feisty days. She's been like that since I met her. She had a water loss in her home. She described her water faucet bursting into a fountain and you know, taking a bath basically in front of her sink. And obviously I referred her to Johnny. So testimonial for Johnny as well. Yesterday I spoke with our insured and she was like, Johnny is very nice. They've been very accommodating, even though she's probably been like one of those, clients from hell. But thank you, Johnny, for doing your excellent service as always. Then we can move over to Michael.
I have a referral for Yvette, and that was to open also a savings account with her bank, and then to hold some money there for a couple months so she gets commission. And just really thankful to her for her help with the PPP. I also had a virtual one-to-one with Mike and Missy last Friday. We're doing just a standing house party calls on Fridays now. So it's cool to see you guys, get to talk a little bit. And then, well, it's not a one-to-one because it was personal, but Mike and I also were weirdos and watched a show together on YouTube while Zooming, and his wife thinks we're weird, but I thought it was cool since we can't like hang out in person at the moment. I also need to call or turn in closed business for the last like month or so, which I will do next week.
Thank you, Michael. Then we move down with Mike Fan.
Yeah, I just had the one-on-one with Michael and the standing house party. We watched Churches, and Churches is one of my favorite bands, and apparently Michael's too, so it was pretty cool. But yeah, I'm planning to talk to a lot more of my clients this week to reach out. So hopefully I'll have some referrals next week.
Awesome. Thank you, Mike. We move down to Johnny Surf Pro.
I had that referral, the lovely young lady that was referred to me by Sal. Martinez got to experience her as well. So testimony for him as well. I think it was about 3:30, 4 o'clock on Friday afternoon, Memorial Day weekend nonetheless. And I think he was there within 30 minutes, 60 minutes. So thank you for that. Like we talked about, some clients are going to be that way and some clients are not. So I appreciate you handling it and taking care of the issue. Thank you.
Sure.
Yeah, definitely, Martin. I'm like, Johnny told me that he sent you the referral, and I'm like, oh crap! Hopefully, we don't scare Martin out of here. We can move over to Missy Babineau.
Okay, so I have something for a former member, John with Custom Clothing Company. He is doing our school store for Parkview Elementary, and we just created we're the Parkview Panthers, and he just created Panther Strong spirit gear. So that's exciting, and we're gonna hopefully get him some business because we still care about former members. Also, I sent a referral to Sal. I'm hoping he contacts you today if he hasn't. His name is Zeke. He does video like commercials for corporations and stuff. So I don't know if he has business insurance, but he has a ton of expensive equipment. And he messaged me yesterday saying, who's your insurance provider? You talk about him all the time. So I need to know this person. And I'm like, I got you.
Go. I'll let you know.
Yes, that should be coming your way. And Michael, I have a testimonial for Michael. He did yard signs for all of the 6th graders at my daughter's school for tomorrow. She graduates tomorrow. Then I officially have a middle schooler, but he did yard signs and they are amazing. For the price that he did them for, I'm like, this guy can beat Vistaprint, okay? And the quality is like unheard of for the price. It's amazing. So if you need printing materials and stuff like that, go to him. Just trust me.
And thanks to Sal for partially supporting this. That helped make sure every kid could get one.
Oh, and I have your donation receipt, by the way. I'll email it to you.
Awesome. Thank you. And now we go to Tyler Crissy.
How did it go with Mauricio, Sal? So he's all good, or what did he say to you?
Wait. For who, sorry?
Mauricio? He never called you?
Oh, I did. It didn't go that great because he never got back to me after we talked.
Gotcha.
I reached out, but he didn't reply back. So
He hasn't turned in any insurance yet, so I'll talk to him today.
Okay.
And then I got another one for you. I got a referral from Joey or Joseph. And then I also gave him a referral last week too. And then a testimonial for Michael Brandt. He's been super patient with me with his website. It's been like a month, but I definitely need to get back on that and get that squared away ASAP with you. So thank you for being patient. Sorry it's taken so long. It's between new hire training and switching companies and licensing. It's kind of been a nightmare.
Do you talk to Lisa? We need a nice client after the mess we had yesterday.
Gotcha.
So please hire her.
Sounds good.
And we'll move over to Elena.
Hi, you guys. No tips, but great presentation, Michael. You reminded me about blogging and how I need to get much better about that. And you're always so good about when I shoot you a frantic email about needing something from my website and design and taking care of it immediately. So yeah, thanks for that. And Missy, I see your hair is getting very long there. It looks good. I like it. And soon, hopefully, we'll be able to get you in to do some new updated shots for work and figure out all that out for me.
I need to get on your schedule because I'm not a fan of this. It's like bothering
It's
me.
long.
Touching it, I don't like it.
I know. Send me a text and we'll get you in.
I will.
Yeah, but otherwise, it sounds like everybody's connecting really well. I mean, I feel like all is going good.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sal, I also did a one-on-one with Joseph yesterday.
Nice. And I wanted to ask you, Tyler, last meeting, you had to leave early, but the referral that I sent you a couple of weeks ago before you did the transition, how did that go?
I haven't heard back from them, but I'm looking through it right now. I'll follow up with them, and I'll get with you after the class or after the meeting.
Okay, thank you. And then we'll go to our visitor, Martin Martinez with M&M Plumbing.
All right. I'm sorry, I missed it. What were we supposed to talk about?
Just what's your favorite part of the meeting today? And yeah, pretty much the last part.
I don't remember who the real estate guy was, but it really caught my attention that he said that he could rent 3 houses in Alabama for what it was. That
$150,000.
Yeah.
$150,000 to get you 3 rental properties out there.
Oh, that is awesome. Really, that's new to me.
And my cousin lives in Jacksonville. I think some of the houses there in the wrong side of town are as cheap as like 10 grand. It's crazy.
Yep.
I have a college friend who owns like $1 million worth of homes in Alabama, and she's like, "Don't worry, it's not that impressive." I was like, "That's still a lot."
A lot of places.
Right.
So Martin, I'll let you know after the meeting. I'll be in touch with how you can join the group, and we have a web application, or I think you live nearby, so I could just bring you a paper one if that's easier. And then we can also get your copy of the book, hopefully.
Appointment that I got to scurry onto. Maybe we'll take care of it later on today.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Just let me know.
Can Michael, in our group thread, can you send Martin's info over?
Sure. Yeah, actually, we'll make a new.
Yeah, we need to make a new
I'll send it right now.
Okay.
Because of Nick leaving, and then I think we don't have Tyler's updated phone number. Is that
I have telephone numbers stayed the same.
And then
I don't have an office phone yet.
okay?
Did you get any closed business from the referral, Martin?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. Would you mind sharing that amount so we can keep it on our books?
Yeah, it was for $200.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you. So we can add that to
For
the stats.
Johnny, right?
Yeah, Johnny Cervantes.
Okay, cool.
There'll probably be
Awesome.
plenty more, Martin.
Oh yeah.
Appreciate it.
So thank you everybody for joining us today. Thank you very much, Martin, for being our visitor once again. We have the happy hour this Friday at 5. So if anybody can join, we'll be there. Also, like I said, chapter 2A for next week. And have a great weekend and rest of your week. I'll see you
Later,
guys.
Hey,
guys.
guys. Have a good day.
Good day, everybody.
Take
All right.
care. Bye.